The first full season that Prodigy originated from the Kansas City area, our first encounter with Rhett Ryman came when he and his adult partner, Wes Edwards, won the 2022 December Adult Youth Doubles Tournament in Olathe. 1 month later, Rhett captured the title at the 2023 KCO January Point Tournament, defeating Antonio Miranda here in Lawrence, Kansas. And that's a winner! Then, 1 year later, at the 2024 KCO January Point Tournament, Rhett Ryman found himself in position to have a go at repeating as the champion in Lawrence, qualifying in the number 4 position. He won his first 3 matches to climb the stepladder to face the tournament leader, Nolan Nash. These two supremely gifted young bowlers would stage one of the most colossal matches we'd witnessed on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. Nolan started with spares in the first and second frames and followed that with strikes in frames 3 through 9. Meanwhile, Rhett Ryman started with strikes in the first 3 frames, followed by a spare in the 4th, and 5 more strikes in frames 5 through 9. The two players entered the 10th frame with jaw-dropping possibilities. Nolan had a possible 279, Rhett a possible 276. It all came down to who could produce in the 10th. Rhett was first to finish. So now he can take the lead with this next strike. That would force Nolan to get the first one in the 10th. If Rhett can get 2 strikes in the 10th, he'll force Nolan to get 2 strikes in the 10th. Boom. Rhett has the lead by 7. He can extend to 17 with a strike here in the 11th. But something distracts him and he sets the ball down. When he won here last year in January, there was a birthday party going on at the high end of the bowling center, and a couple of times there was a big eruption down there that happened while he was in the middle of his approach. Somehow he didn't let it distract him. He went on to win, but I think he knows that there's not much margin for error here. He needs every pin he can get. Oh, he gets the trip 4-7. That could prove huge. 276. 11 strikes. But now, will it be enough? Nolan needs a strike on the first 2 balls in the 10th and 8 on his fill ball to win the match by 1 pin. There's the first one. Well, that gets him in the 260s. Watch it again. Just beautiful form. Just dead on plane. Good balance. Great extension through the shot with his follow-through. But it all comes down to this. He needs a strike on this ball. And I'll bet he can probably get 8 on the fill ball if he gets this strike. But he must strike here. Oh! It's a 4-pin that stops him. So in heart-stopping fashion, Rhett Ryman managed to repeat as champion here at the January KCO in Lawrence, Kansas.
I have never been in a match that intense in my entire life. That is the best match I've ever had. I'm happy it was against Nolan.
1 year ago in 2025, the January KCO was canceled due to winter weather, so Rhett didn't have a chance to three-peat. But today, he's back again with another chance to win in Jayhawk country. Now in its 10th season, it's Prodigy Bowlers Tour, celebrating junior bowling and elevating junior bowlers. Today, episode 204, the 2026 Kansas City Open January Point Tournament. 5 players have advanced to the TV finals, but only one can emerge as the Division I champion. Here are the 5 finalists. Qualifying in the 5th position is Layla Gonzalez of Shawnee, Kansas. She'll meet Tanner Haig of Olathe. The winner of that opening match will bowl our number 3 qualifier, Tanner's brother Tyler Haig. The first time we've ever had siblings on the same show. The winner will meet the 2 seed Eli Nathan, who made the show last month, finishing 4th. That winner will bowl for the title against Rhett Ryman. He's like the tide, he just keeps coming in, and he's the tournament leader. One of these 5 players will emerge as the Division I champion and will sign the coveted trophy pin. Today on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. We're back at Royal Crest Lanes in Lawrence, Kansas, just up Iowa Street from the campus of the University of Kansas. Rock Chalk. The last time we visited you on episode 203, we brought you the Division III Stepladder finals from this tournament. And today we're here to deliver episode 204, the Division I Championship Round Stepladder from Lawrence. It's something of a historic episode in that we've never had siblings appear on the same stepladder. But both of the Haig brothers, Tyler and Tanner, as you see them here, have made the show. But Tanner will have to get past the first match to advance to meet his brother in match 2. And his opponent in that opening match is Layla Gonzalez. I spotted Layla the first week I was coaching at Olathe Lanes East and said to myself, that girl has game, and we're liable to see her on Prodigy one of these days. She's made the show a time or two before, but not in Division I. In fact, it might be the rarest of rare feats to have a female bowler advance to the stepladder finals in Division I at the KCO. Since Prodigy moved to Kansas City starting 4 years ago, only one other female has made a Division I show at a KCO point tournament. That was Fiona West. Now, we also had one girl make it at an adult youth doubles tournament in Division I, but Kayla Hedges had some help from her adult partner that day, her dad. But until today, the only girl to make a Division I stepladder at a KCO point tournament on Prodigy was Fiona West. So Layla Gonzalez has already achieved something that puts her in rarefied air. As always, the KCO holds competitions in 5 average-based divisions. The Division I group that you'll be watching today is comprised of the bowlers with averages of 200 and higher, and they're the one group at the KCO that bowls scratch. All players in all divisions bowl 6 games of qualifying, 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, before the field is cut to the top 5 for the championship round stepladder finals. Now, January is the month when high school bowling begins in Kansas, and once a high school bowlers team starts practicing, they are restricted from entering any tournaments such as the KCO until high school bowling season ends in March. So some of our usual Kansas bowlers are missing in action today. But some are here, and that's because their high school team has put off their first practice until tomorrow. And of course, this restriction doesn't affect our Missouri bowlers at all. Anyway, here's how qualifying shook out in Division I today. Of course, you already know who made the top 5 to get into the stepladder. There in 6th is our alternate Landon Stoddard. In 7th, Chris Reno, who won the adult youth doubles last month with his cousin. There in 8th is Caleb Conroe, who won the last time we were in Lawrence in November. 3 more former champions on Prodigy, Cooper Farmer in 15th, Kelton Meyer in 16th, and Sean McCone in 17th. The Dill Pickle Dylan Pollard in 18th. Colton Boob in 21st. Nick Sharp in 24th place. And the rest of the Division I field today. So here's how the Stepladder finals stack up for our Division I finalists. Our 5th and 4th place qualifiers are set to do battle in the opening match, with the winner advancing as long as he or she keeps winning. Meanwhile, the rest of our finalists are staying loose on the practice pair on lanes 1 and 2, and that group is like a murderer's row of opponents. Tyler Haig shot a 300 earlier this year. Eli Nathan shot a 298 on Prodigy at the KCO Invitational. And Rhett Ryman shot a 300 on Prodigy at the KCO Invitational a couple of years ago and is looking to win the KCO January Point Tournament for the 3rd time in a row after we had an off year last year due to the snow out. Tyler, Eli, and Rhett are waiting to see who will advance to face them. But right now, it's time to raise the curtain on what should be a very interesting Stepladder finals today. In our opening match, it's the 5th qualifier, Layla Gonzalez, competing in Division I for the first time against Tanner Haig, who is starting to make the championship round Stepladder his home away from home. He's been making more and more shows lately. Tanner, the higher qualifier, had the option, and so he has exercised his choice and wants to start the match. But I don't think he wanted to start it that way. He airmails the head pin and leaves the 1-2-4. Kind of threw that one out the window. Oh, look out. And that doesn't get back, and a disastrous beginning to the game. An open frame. And so Tanner will go sit down and think about that. As Layla Gonzalez now gets up for her first frame toss. We're bowling on lanes 5 and 6 here at Royal Crest Lanes. And Layla pummels the pocket with that one. Nearly a stone 8, but it went out late. Watch this ball. This will send the 3-pin to the right wall. And it'll come back and get the 8. Like it had eyes. And another solid strike. So Layla with a double to start. This will certainly get Tanner's attention. Smooth left-hander out to about 4 at the break point. And a beautiful shot. And now Tanner up on the right lane. And a little wide once again. Didn't quite get back the way he'd hoped. And he leaves a shaker 7. Well, Tanner started bowling at the age of 12. He's 18 now. His brother Tyler is the one who really got him into it. And he is hoping to get past this first match to have something we've never had on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. 2 siblings face off against one another. But he's dug himself a bit of a hole to start. Good shot, just a pinch high. Leaves the 4. Tanner's had a really nice season at the KCO thus far. He finished 7th last month at the Adult Youth Doubles Tournament in November. He qualified in the 3rd position, finished 4th. In October in Gladstone, he finished 8th. And in September, to kick off the season, he finished 11th. So he's been knocking on the door trying to get in this position pretty much all season. Now Layla working on a double. And she labels the pocket for a 3rd time. And that is a solid turkey to start. Here's her footwork. 4-step approach. Over about the 2nd arrow. Swings it out to, let's call it 7. And see you later, pins. Oh, and she tips out the 7. Gotta love that. Beautiful arm swing, straight back and straight through. I always say, if you're gonna get good at this game, the first thing you've got to master is the arm swing. If you can swing it on plane, it uncomplicates the game quite a bit. Tanner with a solid strike of his own. But he has already found himself over 40 pins in arrears thanks to Layla's hot start. That was a really good shot, though. Tanner and his brother both have pretty similar games, really. I guess that shouldn't be a surprise. Another solid strike. He will lay it down with that ball right next to his ankle. Really an ideal position. Right under his head or even a little left of that. Maximum leverage. He's in good balance. What's not to like about that game? All right, once again, Layla Gonzalez says she wants to be a chiropractor someday. If she keeps throwing strikes like that, she's going to be a pain in the back to all the rest of the bowlers around here. I guess that's one way to drum up some business, huh? Nice down and in trajectory. And good entry angle. Those pins could only do one thing, and that's fall. She started with the front 5. She started with the front 6. And dare I say it, but she is halfway to a perfect game. Tanner's watching this saying, no, don't tell me it's happening again. He's already had a 300 and a 298 bowled against him on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. Oh, I thought he might have missed wide with that one, but it came back strong, found the swish spot, and just obliterated the rack. Watch this one. You get this kind of entry angle, a light hit is probably going to be your best bet. 5 pin just rams out the 7. All right, but he still trails by 42. Didn't get that one as wide, so clearly there's some miss area out there on the right side. And he's cut Layla's lead down to 32. As she moves to the right lane. And another solid hit. And she snaps out the 7 pin with that one. Here's a side-by-side. You talk about two contrasting styles. A two-hander in Tanner, and Layla a one-hander, bowling on opposite sides of the lane. There they are, synced up at release. Tanner with a little more ball speed. It'll get there a little sooner. But there's more than one way to skin a cat in this game. And Layla now has 7 in a row. She has 8 in a row. Well, Tanner, I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Every time you come on Prodigy Bowlers Tour, it seems to bring out the best in your opponent. Layla rips the rack on that one. Wow. Well, you can't throw it any better than that. Tanner's smiling. He knows exactly what's happening to him again. Here he is, in perfect balance at the line. Ball close to his ankle for maximum leverage. The ball tears through the pins with no deflection. Splits the 8 and 9. And he can't even get a whiff this game. And that one just never even thought about making it back. And once again, he leaves the 1-2-4. He missed this in the first frame. Covers it this time. I think we might have the oldest field we've had on Prodigy in quite a while. Of our 5 finalists, 4 of them are in their final year of eligibility as a youth bowler. Layla and Tanner being 2 of them. There's another strike. And Layla has the front 9, and she has locked up the match. And now she is 3 strikes away from a 300 game. What a way to start 2026. There's never a doubt about that one. All right, this one for the front 10. And once again, she tomahawks out that 7-pin like it's nothing. Look at her work that rosin bag. The wheels are turning inside that mind. Here's her 10th ball. Ball's nice and close to her ankle, just like we teach it. Can't do it any better than that. You think her heart's pounding? I know mine is. This, the 11th ball. And she rips them apart. Well, now. We've had 4 300 games bowled on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. 1 by Logan Mathis, 1 by Rhett Ryman, 1 by Nolan Nash, and about a year ago when we went back to Georgia, Hunter Moffitt rolled one. But we've never had one by a girl or a left-hander. But we have now. Layla Gonzalez with a 300. You want to build a game, build it around a swing as pure as this one. How good is this? I love it. And poor Tanner, it's happened to him again.
This is the next game, bowl 5-6. Layla Gonzalez, a perfect 300.
And as you hear, as Tanner Haig is throwing his first ball in the 10th frame, the guy at the front counter announces Layla Gonzalez's 300 to the bowling center. I tell you what, if you're standing anywhere near lanes 5 and 6, when that roar went up, you knew that was a 300 yell. They don't get that loud when you just make a split or something. .223 for Tanner Haig. That's a great game, but not as great as a 300. Goodness gracious. Here's the 12th ball once again. And Layla Gonzalez gives us a moment on Prodigy Bowlers Tour that I don't think any of us is going to forget anytime soon. And now she needs to just settle down because Tanner's brother Tyler is waiting for her in the wings. You know, there are lots of ways to support Prodigy Bowlers Tour. One way is to tell your friends about it and even send a link to the show to friends who may not have seen it before. But if you want to go one step further and show a little financial support for all the work that goes into creating these episodes of the show, and each episode takes about 40 hours to edit, become a Prodigy patron. For just $5 a month, you get early access to each full-length episode of the show, at least a day or two before the episode goes public. And for just $10 a month, you not only get early access to each episode, but you also join the elite supporters of the show by getting your name in the show's closing credits as an executive producer. To become a Prodigy patron, go to www.patreon.com/Prodigy Bowlers Tour and follow the directions to become a patron. It's like throwing a little change into the guitar case of someone who's playing guitar on the street. Just a small way to show your appreciation for the work that goes into creating the art that you then get to enjoy. And you'll receive my undying gratitude for your kindness. Once again, go to www.patreon.com/Prodigy Bowlers Tour and become a Prodigy patron. So Layla Gonzalez gets re-rated up to bowl Division I for the first time, and all she does is make the Stepladder finals her first time competing in Division I, and then she goes out and tosses her first ever 300 game in Match 1 of the Stepladder. Get some of that, why don't you? Meanwhile, poor Tanner Haig, in 3 of his last 4 appearances on Prodigy, Tanner has had a 300 thrown at him by Nolan Nash at the 2024 Prodigy TOC, a 298 thrown at him at the 2025 KCO Invitational by Eli Nathan, and now today another 300 thrown at him, this time by Layla Gonzalez. I spoke to Tanner Haig a moment ago, and he was total class. He said he really couldn't begrudge Layla a single strike, since all 12 of them that she threw were buried in the pocket. I guess it goes without saying, although I'm going to say it anyway, that Layla's 300 was the first 300 we've ever had bowled on Prodigy Bowlers Tour by a girl. Heck, there have only been 5 women pro bowlers toss a 300 on TV. But Layla now joins Logan Mathis, Rhett Ryman, Nolan Nash, and Hunter Moffett in the elite circle of players that now numbers 5 to have bowled a perfect game on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. But she's still got work to do. Next up in match 2 is Tanner's brother, Tyler Haig. So Layla needs to settle herself because they don't get any easier going forward. Welcome to Division 1. You know, that really is quite something. Layla never bowling as a Division 1 player at the KCO until today. She makes the stepladder finals, and then in her first match in the stepladder, she shoots 300. Amazing. And she starts the next game with a strike, albeit a crossover, but keeps the string alive. All she does is strike. All right, Tyler Haig, he's thrown a couple of 300s of his own in KCO competition this year. 3 overall. His high series is 787. And he comes in light and shakes him up. Tyler, the one player in our 5-player field today who is not already 18 and in his final year of eligibility as a youth player. And as you watch him, you will see he's got a very impressive game. Like his brother, really good balance at the line, ball close to his ankle. He really checks all the boxes. That one just didn't give it quite enough room. Came in a little high, leaves the 4. But Tyler's had a good season so far at the KCO. Finished 8th the last time we were here in Lawrence in November, 13th in October, and back in September at Olathe Lanes East, he finished 10th. But this is his first trip to the stepladder finals in the 25-26 season. All right, Layla, 13 strikes in a row so far. Make that 14. Wow. This girl is on fire. I spared you the indignity of singing the line, but it certainly applies. Over 10 out to about 8 at the break point, and bang, down they go. Well, she didn't quite trust that one far enough to the left. I think at some level she's probably glad she finally missed once. Takes the pressure off of throwing nothing but strikes. But here's the baby split. For a left-hander, it's the 2-7. Put the ball on the left side of the 2. It'll deflect into the 7. Just like that. What, you expected something else? Watch it again. Plastic ball, so it won't hook much. And like I said, it deflects to the left off the 2 and into the 7. Perfectly done. Tyler shreds the rack. He's won a bunch of tournaments, including a KCO, the Youth Scratch Masters, and an HOA, the Heart of America Youth Classic, one of the tournament series that's held here in the greater Kansas City area regularly. Says he wants to be a therapist, a counselor when he grows up. When he's not throwing strikes, which is most of the time. Here's his footwork. Tiny little first step, 5-step approach. He takes a short approach. For a kid as tall as he is, he uses a very small portion of the approach. All right, Layla working on a spare. And now she's right back on the strike train. Tell you what, 15 out of 16 strikes, that's pretty good. Let's take a look at 3 of them. We'll see the 7th and 9th frame strikes from the last game and the 4th frame strike from this game. They all look pretty similar. How similar? Well, we'll stack them on top of each other for our exclusive Prodigy Bowlers Tour 3 deep look, so you can really tell how similar they all are. Any deviation and you'll be able to pick it up right away. Little difference in the way she kicked her trail foot, but other than that, pretty similar. You have that kind of consistency, you're going to be a good player in this game. Hold it. All right, that's 2 in a row through the nose on the left lane. Might be time to move your feet a little to the right. A board or two, maybe move your eyes at the arrows a board or two to the right. She covers the 2-4 without even breaking a sweat. All right, Tyler, he says his best moment in bowling is winning tournaments. You know, we ask all these kids that same question, what's your best moment in bowling? And his brother Tanner said his best moment in bowling was watching his brother Tyler win a tournament at the KCO. And that's how siblings are wired, isn't it? Rooting for each other, so got to figure Tyler is wanting to get a measure of revenge on Layla for what she did to his brother. Oh! He gets the 2-pin off the wall on a light hit. Watch this one. Watch the head pin, the one in front. It'll go to the left wall. Comes back and nudges out the 2-pin. Yeah, he liked that one. And Layla drifting a little high with that one, but trips out the 6. Really, she tripped out the 6, 7, and 10. That could have been most anything. It was a split looking for a place to stand. Watch it here. 6, 7, and 10 all late to go, but they went. Now, can she make an adjustment on this left lane? Pulled it. She just pulled it off her hand is all. I think she's actually battling with a little cramping going on in her left hand is what I was told. Which makes that last game all the more astonishing. Great cover. She's 2 for 2 on the 2-7, but that's 3 frames in a row on the left lane. She's gone through the nose. And now Tyler working on a 4-bagger. Make that a 5-bagger. And he increases his lead to 32 pins. Tiny little steps. But you know what? You take tiny little steps, really there's not as much to go wrong with your game. Keeps things nice and compact. I kind of like that. That ball just a little high. The 4-pin remains. Easy spare. But he'll take his time with it because you don't want to be blowing easy ones. and he covers it. But now let's do the projection. If Layla strikes out in the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, she'll shoot 238. Tyler is going at a 239 pace. So this is still anybody's game. Layla just needs to figure out this left lane, make whatever adjustment it is that she needs to make. Throw a strike there. And finish with a strong string of strikes. This was a nice toss to get it started. But now here's the key shot. She needs to figure out this left lane. She didn't like it as soon as it was off her hand. Well, like I said, I think she's fighting with some cramping in her bowling hand. And that can be disconcerting, but got to cover the spare. You never know. All right. She can still shoot 218. Tyler just needs a mark somewhere in the 9th or 10th, and that ought to lock it up. There's a mark. That's a good mark. So he's just going to need good count in the 10th frame, and he can move on to match 3. That is 10 in the pit. All right, Tyler, you need 5 pins on this ball. That'll put it away. Well, there's 7. That's all he needed. It's not pretty, but it's a winner. You want to show us a trick shot just for fun? The 3, 6, 7? Why not? Have a go. Oh, he almost got it. Oh, man. Just overcut it a little. It's an open frame, but Tyler Haig has won match 2, and Layla can go nurse that sore left hand that served her so well in shooting a 300. I think she is out of juice. But I don't think any of you watching are going to forget this performance anytime soon. I know I won't. And we've still got 2 more matches to go. No telling what kind of excitement awaits us. Now Layla is waiting for Avery Lovegren to throw a ball here on the lane to the right. That group on 7 and 8 to our right, that's the Division II group. We'll fill you in on how their stepladder played out when we get to the end of the show after we visit with our eventual winner. But Layla Gonzalez bows to Tyler Haig, and Tyler is moving on to match 3, where he will face our number 2 qualifier, Eli Nathan, when we return after this. Surprisingly, less than a quarter of you watching Prodigy right now are actually subscribed to the channel. Did you know that by not subscribing, you keep us from growing the channel? Take a moment right now and smash that subscribe button. Ring the notification bell so you'll receive a notification whenever we post a new video. That way, you won't miss anything. Leave a comment down below. We just ask that you not post any spoilers. You know, comments that give away the ending. This kind of engagement, viewers hitting the like button, subscribing, and leaving comments, goes a long way toward getting YouTube's algorithm to serve up our videos to more like-minded viewers like you. Oh, and be sure to share the video with everyone you know on your social media feeds. Send the link to your friends, especially your bowling friends. And tell the folks at your local bowling center to play Prodigy in the center or in the pro shop. Most folks in the bowling business enjoy Prodigy once they've seen it, but if they don't know about it, they won't watch. Help us grow Prodigy by spreading the word about the show. And thanks to you for being a loyal viewer of Prodigy Bowlers Tour. Well, it turns out it wasn't Layla Gonzalez's day to run the stepladder and win the whole enchilada after all. But I think we can all agree that she certainly left her mark on this tournament and on Prodigy Bowlers Tour with a moment we'll never forget. I suspect she won't forget it either. Layla bowled really well again in the second match, but was just a little slow to make the adjustment on the left lane when she started finishing high on that lane. Still, she was solid as a rock on her spares, including a couple of splits. I had a chance to visit with Layla a moment ago.
Well, I know you're disappointed with that second game.
Yeah.
But it's hard to follow a 300 with another big game. How did you feel shooting 300? Was that your first?
It was. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't too focused in on the 300. I have my whole hand's cramping up, and it was like that was really the only I was focusing on, just keeping it ungripped. So I think that kind of helped me shoot the 300 because I wasn't too focused on stressing out on hitting my mark and everything, and I felt really good. I felt really good when shooting it.
So you get up in the 10th frame, you need 3 more. Mm-hmm. What are you thinking about on the first one?
On the first one, probably just to breathe and then just do my best to hit my mark. That was probably what I was thinking the first one.
Second one?
Just don't mess up, because every single time I've gone for 300, I always mess up on the 11th shot. So I was like, once I shot the 11th one, I was just so happy that it was just like, that was like a win just for me.
So was the 12th one more of a, I got this?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I felt pretty good about my 12th one, because like, I don't know, once you get 11, it's just like, oh, just one more.
I had a few words of encouragement for you before you
did. That was
stepped over
definitely
and bowled the step ladder.
Yeah.
What did I tell you?
Just one shot.
One shot
Yep.
at a time.
There it
maybe.
is. Yep.
Did that help?
It did. I think that helped. And then a couple other people were telling me it's like, don't stress out about it. It's just your shot. Just focus on the one shot you have right there. So it definitely helped.
Well, I can't begin to tell you how delighted I am for you.
Thank you.
I know you'd like to still be bowling, but you created a moment for us on Prodigy Bowlers Tour
Yes.
that we will never forget. You are not only one of just a very few who have ever bowled 300 on the show, you're the first girl to do it.
Yay.
And I don't know if you're aware of this, but Tanner Haig, the guy you beat,
Yeah.
in his last, I think, 4 appearances on Prodigy, he's had 300 bowled against him, 298, and now another 300.
Poor guy.
He's not going to want to come on my show anymore.
Yeah, I feel so bad, but
Yeah.
he was a good sport about it.
He was a great sport.
Yeah.
And when I asked him about it a little while ago, he said, I really can't begrudge her even a single shot.
Yeah.
Every one she threw was solid in the pocket.
Yeah. I
So-
do have to say, this is a really good game for me. I'm really, really happy. And
300 is a really good game for anybody, in
Yeah.
case you didn't know. But congratulations.
Thank you.
I am so happy for
thank you so much.
And the hits just keep on coming. Now we move to match 3, where Tyler Haig has advanced to meet our number 2 qualifier, Eli Nathan. Eli and his doubles partner, Alan Dierking, finished 4th at last month's Adult Youth Doubles Tournament in Olathe. And Eli is back again, once again trying to find that elusive key to get into the championship match. Tyler has been there once before on Prodigy, having won the Division I title back in April when we were last in Leavenworth, Kansas. So he knows the way to the winner's circle. Eli Nathan is looking to make his first trip there. But before he gets to bowl for the title, he'll first have to get past Tyler Haig. One of these two players is one match away from a face-off with Rhett Ryman for the championship. And Eli is going to throw the first ball. And that one breaks sharply on the back end. Could have left a split. But the 3-6-10 offers its own set of challenges. Move to the left, go cross lane at it. Oh dear. Gets too much of the 3-pin and picks it and the 6 clean off the 10. So an open frame to begin for Eli Nathan. So Tyler Haig will start his match up on the right. And he gets the 9 to go late. That was flirting with 4-9 territory. Watch the 2-pin, the third one from the left. It'll go to the left wall and come back and get the 9. Love it when the pins are playing nice. There's a good strike for young Mr. Haig. Watch it again. Watch this short approach. It's amazing you can take 5 steps in such a short amount of space. But it's a real advantage when the lanes are really hooking and you got to move way to the left, like get in front of the ball return when you're on the right lane. As you're already used to taking short steps. Eli Nathan can't get the 10 to go. Eli started bowling when he was 3 years old. He too with a very short approach. Now, he's not as tall as Tyler, so he doesn't have the long legs, and it doesn't look like an unusually short approach. Although it's a pretty short approach, unusual or not. Watch how far he walks up here. He's in front of the upper row of dots. 4 steps, 4 tiny little steps. And I think he's flummoxed. He looks bewildered at why the ball won't bend to his will. Welcome to my life. He takes care of the 2-5 though. But he is 3 frames in and still looking for his first strike, while Tyler has nothing but X's up through 2 frames. And now he has nothing but X's through 3 frames. And Tyler has built a nice little 33-pin lead in the first 3 frames. Over the 4th arrow, can't quite tell how far to the right that ball gets on its way to the pocket, but we know where it finished. We'll get a better idea on the left lane if he's playing a similar line. That's well left of the 4th arrow. And finishes between the 8 and 9 off the back of the pin deck. And Tyler, taking a page from the Leila Gonzalez playbook, starts with a 4-bagger. That ball never gets right of about 12. All right, Eli, it's time to come alive. Gave that one a little more room out to the right. We're bowling on the house shot. The boards are a little drier out there, so you can get it to come back a little harder if you throw it out there. Here's a side-by-side. You can see that Tyler is a good bit taller than Eli. They both take short approaches. Tyler's playing farther to the left on the lane. Eli's more down and in and with less speed, but they both got a good result on that shot. Well, Eli just can't seem to buy a double. A strike there would have come in mighty handy, would have cut into Tyler's lead a little bit. But he makes the 4-pin. But he's got to feel like his wheels are stuck in the mud. All right. Tyler Hager got started bowling because of a friend of his. Ooh, that was almost the dreaded pocket 710. The 7 went out. And then the messenger didn't quite deliver to the 10-pin as he had hoped. So his string stops at 4. And now the job is cover your spare. And he makes it easily. Full disclosure, I gave a lesson to Tyler and his brother Tanner some months ago. Good guys, both of them. Well, he gave that one a little more room, and it just didn't make it back. So the 2-4 remains. This not a particularly difficult spare for a right-hander. And he makes it look as easy as it is. But the lead is 40. And Eli needs to get hopping. Started bowling at the age of 3. He's got a 300 to his credit, a 762 for a high series. But I tell you what, he has really grown as a bowler in just really the last year, maybe even the last 8 months. I noticed as the last bowling season was winding down back in the spring, he was starting to show some real life on the lanes. And then I didn't see him over the summer. And when the fall season started up, I was like, oh, this kid has learned how to bowl. Light shaker won't go. And he's talking to Liam Easton, friend of his, who's in the gallery, and another KCO bowler. You can tell Eli is just confused, not getting the ball reaction he's expecting. There's a cover of the 8-pin. But Tyler takes a 40-pin lead into the 7th frame. He is definitely in the driver's seat. Well, he was in the driver's seat until he left the 2-4-8-10. Now, Caleb Conroe is a left-hander, but we've flipped the video around to show you what he'd look like if he was a right-hander shooting the 2-4-8-10. That's how you make it Of course, he shot at the 3.679 and made it, but you know what I mean. Tyler, a little too much of the 2-pin. It's an open frame, and now that 40-pin lead is no more. It's down to 25. And that definitely makes this a match with 3 frames to go. And he goes through the nose. That could have been another split. And Tyler, who looked solid as a rock the first 4 frames with nothing but strikes, now he's gone 4 straight frames with no strikes. He covers the 610. But now Eli Nathan got to be thinking, okay, if I could just get a double, let's see what happens. Well, that's one way to get it started. On a hit you don't think you're going to get a strike with. But watch this. It's going to be the 2-pin that goes to the left wall, comes back, tips the 4 into the 9. And that's how you trip the 4-9. Now, if he can just get a double. How about that? Nothing like waiting to the very last minute. I wonder if he does his homework the same way. It's over about 12 at the arrows, out to about 8 at the break point. I think that's the magic line he's looking for. Tyler says, I am not playing around with you anymore, little man. Well, we'll see. This is a really nice hit. Little light shaker action. Watch the 5-pin get over into the 4 area. The 4 backs up, knocks out the 7. Strike here would just about put it away. But no. 4-pin. And that leaves the door open for Eli. Well, well. All right, make this. A strike on the fill ball would give him 212. Eli will need to double in the 10th. Tyler doesn't really need a strike here on the last ball. 6 will put the pressure on, but a strike is nice. He would have liked to have had a few more of these in the second half of the match. He wouldn't have to sweat this 10th frame. But as it is, Eli must strike on the first and second balls in the 10th. There's the first one. He's still in it. And that strike cuts the lead to just 5 pins. And now he'll need one more. Here's that first ball on the 10th again. This gives him a chance to take the match at the very end, but he must strike on this ball. And there it is. Oh, he's pumped. He's feeling it now. He couldn't buy a double in the first half of the match. I don't know what adjustment he made, but whatever it is, it's working. Oh, baby. All right. Stay behind the foul line. You need 6 pins. That'll do. And Eli Nathan takes match 3. And now he's moving into the championship match to face Rhett Ryman for the title. In 2016, when Prodigy Bowlers Tour was first launched, the kids on the show were just bowling for bragging rights. But a viewer of the show, Amanda Mayer, left a comment on one of the videos saying if there were an actual prize they were bowling for, you might get more kids to enter. And with that, the coveted trophy pin was born. On each show, the winner would sign the coveted trophy pin, and that tradition has continued until today. At the end of each season, we hold the Prodigy Bowlers Tour Tournament of Champions, or Prodigy TOC for short, and the winner claims the pin as their own. Early on in the show's history, some of our winners opted to give the pin away, but in recent years, the victors have figured if the coveted trophy pin is all that coveted, then why wouldn't I want to keep it? I wouldn't argue with them, and so they have kept it. There were a couple of years in there during the pandemic where we didn't award a coveted trophy pin. But here's the list of winners through the years. Charles Bostic in 2017, Peyton Smith in 2018, Nick Dissinger in 2019. Production of the show was suspended in 2020 due to the pandemic, so the 2019-2020 coveted trophy pin was orphaned mid-season. But just before I moved back to Kansas City from Atlanta in late 2021, we gave that final Atlanta coveted trophy pin to the winner of the Farewell Atlanta episode of the show, and that pin went to Hunter Moffett. In 2022, we shot and released our first Kansas City-based episode, the 2022 KCO Invitational, but there was no coveted trophy pin. Then, in the fall of 2022, when we started covering the KCO each month, a new coveted trophy pin was put in play, and in 2023, it was won by P.J. Dokalis. In 2024, Rhett Ryman was the first to break tradition and keep the coveted trophy pin when he won it. And in 2025, Eli Clinklin claimed the Prodigy TOC title, and along with it, the coveted trophy pin. Once again this season, all the winners at all the KCO tournaments throughout the current season are qualified to bowl in the 2026 Prodigy TOC, where the current coveted trophy pin will be claimed by the next Prodigy TOC winner. Want a little excitement in your life? How about a 300, the first one on Prodigy by a girl, to start our Stepladder finals today? And a match that comes down to the very last ball by Eli Nathan to get him into the championship match. And now our tournament leader, Rhett Ryman, awaits Eli. Rhett has been knocking on the door all season. Last month, he and his doubles partner, Wes Edwards, finished 9th at the Adult Youth Doubles Tournament. In November, the last time we were here in Lawrence, Rhett finished 9th. In October, he made the show, qualifying 3rd and finishing 2nd. And in September, to kick off the season, Rhett was the tournament leader before finishing 2nd to Eli Clinklin. So Rhett hasn't finished out of the top 10 yet this season, and seems to have done everything but win. You might say he's due. But I suspect Eli Nathan might have something to say about that. While his opponent, Rhett Ryman, has won more tournaments than he can name, Eli is looking for his first tournament championship of any kind. He's never been in this position before, one game away from the title. One player is an old hand at winning, while the other player's hands may be shaking a little before this is over. It should be interesting to see which one can come through this as the winner. Tell you what though, Rhett Ryman went through the 24-25 season without a win, and then we got to the final KCO event of the season, the KCO Invitational, and he won that one, the biggest scholarship prize of the year on the KCO calendar. So you never know. Oh my. I'm not sure I believe my eyes. He almost left the lily. He had the 5-7-10 standing there. Yikes. And now he's got the 7-10. So, well, like I said, you never know. An open frame to start. You can tell by the look on his face. He was like, you got to be kidding. It had to be a bad rack or something. All right, Eli. Yeah, just a wee bit high. 4-pin. Eli says he got started bowling when his dad took him as a kid to the bowling alley when he was 3 years old, and it was all up from there, he said. Four-pin, gone. Check that off his list of to-dos for this match. An early 11-pin lead. Oh boy. That was threatening to be something nasty. The 6-10 late in going out, but he leaves just the 4-7. Takes care of it. And now Rhett Ryman, the oldest player in our field today. He's actually already in college, but because of where his birthday falls on the calendar, right after the August 1st cutoff for the USBC season, he got lucky and had one more season of youth eligibility, so he's taking advantage of it. And he can take advantage of it in a real nice way if he can keep throwing shots like that. But Rhett figured, you know, I'm already in college. If I can win some more scholarship money, might as well. Because he will surely spend it at school. Good shot. Started bowling at the age of 7. His first league when he was 10. He has won a ton of youth bowling tournaments. How did that 10-pin stand? Well, that's probably the question he's asking himself. He's going to college studying to be an electrical engineer. And takes care of the 10-pin. No muss, no fuss. All right, Eli with a spare up. And that's what he's looking for right there. High flush. Says his best moment in bowling came when he got his first sanctioned 300 at his Tuesday league. That's at Olathe Lanes East. One of the youth leagues run by Susan Fashing Lowe, who does just an incredible job with the youth program at Olathe Lanes East. Oh, 9 and a wiggle is all you're going to get, young man, on that hit. He's definitely bewildered by some of these hits. He's like, felt pretty good off my hand. Just didn't carry. Rhett's favorite pro bowler, Anthony Simonson. Doesn't really bowl like Anthony Simonson. They are both two-handers, however. And there's a tricky little spare he'll have to contend with, the 2-8. A lot of players like to throw plastic at spares, but when you got double wood like this, I always recommend throwing your hooking ball, strike ball. You want to hit square flush on the front pin, although if you're hooking at it, you can hit on the side you're hooking from. In this case, the right side. And that's what he does. What you don't want to do is hook past the center of the face of the front pin. You'll send it to the right, and it'll miss that back pin. But strikes are not coming so easily this match to either player. We're 4 frames in. Each player has just 1 strike. And Rhett is still trying to climb out of that mistake he made in the first frame. That's a good one. More of that, please. Here's Rhett's footwork. 4-step approach. Little drift to the left. He's a planter, not a slider, over about 17. Oh, he got that one out to about 4. And it came back with a vengeance. And there's a solid strike by Eli Nathan. Just to let Rhett know he's still here. I think he wins the award for the shortest 4-step approach of any 18-year-old I've ever seen bowl. What was that? I think that's what he's asking. Well, we've seen the 1-2-4 a couple of times today. He covers it easily. But now somebody is going to have to take the bull by the horns here in the second half of this match. Take the initiative and go win it. There is the first double of the match. And that makes this a one-pin match. If Rhett can close the deal and win today, it would be 3 straight KCO January point tournaments that he would win. There wasn't a January point tournament last year. That was the event that got canceled when we got dumped on by Mother Nature and about 11 inches of snow. And that January point tournament was scheduled for Olathe, not here in Lawrence. A high hit leaves the 4. And Rhett goes wanting on the ball that would have given him the lead had he struck. But in a match like this, that's close, where strikes are at a premium, you got to really work on your spares. Don't give anything away. You never know. All right, Eli Nathan, who's been working part-time drilling bowling balls over at Lucky Strike Overland Park, trips the 4. Now he's just hoping he can put together a double to move out ahead by more than a mark. There you go. That's what he's looking for. A swisher. You take them any way you can get them, but watch this. It'll be the 5-pin, the one that sits behind the 1-pin. That ball will just graze it and send it over into the 7, and it just tips it out. My favorite kind of strike. But that's big because now he's out in front by more than 10. This is like going out to a 2-possession lead in football, because Rhett can't catch him with 1 double. He would need 3 in a row to get there. And another 4-pin. Rhett has bowled a good match. He's just been a tick off this whole game. It can be so frustrating for a player. You know you're right there, but just can't get a break. Covers the 4. But now he knows he's running out of frames. And if ever there was a time he needs to string a few, it's right now. Once again, the players to our right, that's Division 2, will recap how their stepladder played out after we visit with our winner at the end of the show. Important shot here in the foundation 9th to set up the 10th frame. And he just can't buy one. Gosh, that was almost a 4-5. He's had some crazy, weird pin action today. But in the end, it's just another 4-pin. Well, we know he can make that one. But now here's the situation. The best Rhett can do is 204. Eli can pass that if he goes 9 spare in the 9th, 9 spare 9 in the 10th. That would shut out Rhett. There's 9. Boy, he would have loved to have gotten a strike there. It would have made his job a little easier. Needs to make it. Okay. Now he needs to fill 18 in the 10th to shut out Rhett. He's working on a spare. 9 spare 9 would do it. Strike 8 would do it. There's a strike. And that gets him closer. Now he's got 2 balls to get 8 pins. This was a really good shot. So was the one that left the 9 pin. But now what you don't want to see here is something crazy like a Greek church or something. That's a winner. That's all he needs.
Yes, sir, Eli.
Eli Nathan has won the Division I title here at the 2026 KCO January Point Tournament. And a 207 is more than enough. Now with the match out of reach, what do you think the odds are of Rhett stringing some strikes here in the 10th? We've talked about it so many times that once the game is out of reach, pressure is off, the player relaxes a little. Well, you knew that was going to happen. It's just a matter of will he get all 3? That is something. Eli Nathan really didn't have anything going on, and he basically stole victory from the jaws of defeat in the 3rd match when he stepped up in the 9th and 10th and threw the clutch strikes to beat Tyler Haig. Well, of course, the messenger's going to go now. And here bowling Rhett. He didn't really bowl his best game, but Eli made the shots that mattered at the end. And it was just enough to shut out a frustrated Rhett Ryman, who bowled a good game but just couldn't carry. Well, until the 10th frame, of course. But the 2 players exchange handshakes. It's Eli Nathan Day at the KCO. He has won the title in Division I, and we will get him to sign the coveted trophy pin when we return after this. To keep up with all things Prodigy year-round, join the Prodigy Bowlers Tour Facebook group. It's absolutely free, and you'll get behind-the-scenes info about the show and some of the players you see bowling on it. Plus, you'll get the occasional sneak peek at what's coming on future episodes, and you'll stay informed about where the next episode stands in the creation process. From any page on Facebook, type the words Prodigy Bowlers Tour into the search bar and hit enter. That'll take you to the page where you can submit a request to join the Prodigy Facebook group. You'll be presented with 3 simple screening questions. Be sure to answer them. If you don't, we'll assume the request to join the group is coming from a spam bot, and you'll be denied access. Nobody wants spam bots in the group. So just follow the simple directions and answer the 3 screening questions. And we'll see you on Facebook. Now, from the Prodigy Bowlers Tour newsroom, with reports from across the universe, around the world, throughout the nation, and up your alley, this is Prodigy Striking News. In the days following the taping of today's episode of Prodigy Bowlers Tour, a number of Prodigy kids living on the Kansas side of the greater Kansas City area began their 2026 high school bowling season, which extends from January through the first part of March. And some of the kids you've seen on Prodigy had a stellar start to the new high school bowling season, including Layla Gonzalez and her team from Mill Valley High School. The varsity girls set a new school team record, and Layla Gonzalez took first with a 689 series. Anna Keeler, who you've seen on Prodigy once, finished second with a 635 in just her first high school meet. And Bella Gonzalez took third with a 572. The varsity boys team from Olathe South looks to be a powerhouse again this season, as Braden Ebeling took first with a 755, and the Haig brothers, Tyler and Tanner, finished second and third, respectively, with 703 and 701. Meanwhile, Topeka's Kelton Meyer, once a winner on Prodigy, fired a 300 and a school record series of 785 for the Hayden Wildcats. If you or your child bowls high school bowling in Kansas or Missouri and has appeared on Prodigy Bowlers Tour, let us know of their accomplishments at these upcoming meets. Post them to the Prodigy Facebook group, and we might share the news with all of Prodigy Land on the next episode of Prodigy Bowlers Tour. Now, we send you back to Lawrence, Kansas for the ceremonial signing of the coveted trophy pin by our latest KCO champion. Just a spectacular day here at Royal Crest Lanes in Lawrence, as Eli Nathan has captured his first tournament title, defeating one of the very best bowlers in the area to do it in Rhett Ryman. Rhett bowled well, but just couldn't carry until the 10th frame when it was too late. So congratulations to Eli Nathan, who had to survive 2 down-to-the-wire, nerve-wracking matches to emerge as the Division I champion today. I'd say it's time you get to meet this affable young man, and for him to do the honors.
A first-timer in the winner's circle on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. Not a first-timer on the show. Viewers may remember Eli Nathan from when he shot 298 at the KCO Invitational about a year and a half ago. And today, no 298, not from you. We did have a pretty big game on the show today.
None.
They don't get any bigger, but how'd you do it?
It was a lot of nervous shots, I will say that, but kind of got my groove in the first game I had. It was against Tyler. Found my groove, didn't really find the left lane, so that second game against Rhett was really tough, but found it in the end. Got a couple of lucky breaks, and we take those when we can.
I've been watching you grow up in our youth program at Olathe Lanes East, and you were, kind of a so-so bowler a few years ago.
I agree.
And boy, all of a sudden you just started shooting your way up and making leaderboards, and here you are back-to-back months in the Stepladder finals. You made it at the adult youth last month with your right-hander turned left-hander, Alan Dierking, who I guess he drills your bowling balls?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I work in a shop, but his drills have just been amazing, and he's been such an amazing coach. Like, I think he's the biggest part of my bowling career. I went in as a 180 average to him, turned me into probably a 220-ish. I give a lot of thanks to him. He has changed my game.
Well, something has changed your game, and it's made you a lot more confident. And you were in some pretty clutch situations there in the last couple of matches. How did you cope with the pressure?
Well, in the first one against Tyler, I went up to my friend and I'm like, I just want a chance. And I got what I could. He gave me a chance and I just wanted to execute a few shots. I kind of just take a deep breath and like, just go after your mark. If it's not the best shot, it's not the best shot. Just move on. It's just a game sometimes, you know?
Well, you made the shots when you needed to today, and you are a first-time winner on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. I don't know how many KCOs you've won.
First one.
Never?
No, first one. First tournament win ever, too.
So this is the first time for you?
Yes.
Well, by winning, you get to sign the coveted trophy pin. So go right ahead and put your name on it. And today's date, it's January 4th, 2026. And this punches your ticket to the season-ending Prodigy Bowlers Tour Tournament of Champions, which will be 2 or 3 weeks after the KCO Invitational in June. And there will be a scholarship prize for the winner there. And if you take the whole Megillah, you'll go home with the coveted trophy pin. Congratulations to Eli Nathan.
Thank you.
As I mentioned earlier, the players bowling in the periphery to our right were the finalists in Division 2. Here's how their stepladder played out today. In the opening match, the 4th place qualifier, Avery Lovegren, the younger sister of Colby Lovegren, defeated the 5 seed, Pierre Luis Flores Garcia, 236 to 200. Then in match 2, Avery dispatched an exciting young bowler you haven't seen yet, but I imagine we'll get on the show one of these days soon, Joseph Weiss. The final score, Avery 213 and Joseph 186. Then in match 3, the 2 seed, Xander Yim, ended Avery's march to the top, winning a high-scoring match 238 to 221. And in the championship match, it was tournament leader Hunter Bradley who fended off Xander Yim 216 to 193 to capture the title. On our last episode, we showed you the finals in Division 3, where Camden Hale ran the stepladder to claim top honors. And we told you about how Connor Boob held off a feisty Brody Plaskey in the final match to win first place in Division 4, while Michael Morgan took the championship in Division 5. So congratulations to all 5 of our champions at the 2026 Kansas City Open January Point Tournament. Our next stop on Prodigy Bowlers Tour is Crown Lanes in Leavenworth, Kansas for the 2026 KCO February Point Tournament, where Caden White took the title in Division 1 last season. Of course, he won't be there to defend, having aged out, but the runner-up last year was Eli Clinklin, and he's already entered, and you can bet he'll have his eyes on the prize in hopes of becoming our first 2-time winner in Division 1 this season. If you'd like to bowl in an upcoming Kansas City Open, visit their website at www.kansascityopen.com. There you'll find everything you need to enter, including entry forms, rules, and much more. So that's it for this edition of Prodigy Bowlers Tour, where the headline coming out of Lawrence, Kansas is Eli Nathan wins his first tournament title, but Layla Gonzalez steals the show, bowling her first 300 game, and the first 300 game ever bowled on Prodigy by a girl. I hope it's the first of many. So, until we meet again, this is Coach Randy reminding you to stay behind the foul line And keep kicking out the corner pins, not the foul lights and ball returns. And I'll talk to you next time on episode 205 of Prodigy Bowlers Tour. Now, go get your bowl on.